Hi friends, good morning. As usual, extremely happy to connect and talk to you on a variety of topics. Primarily this channel is on multifaceted topics related to life and career. So in case that interests you, kindly stay subscribed and watch this video till then and probably see if you can like the video and the content. A very interesting and important point of view from the point of view of both life and career, which I want to share with you. Starting early is what the topic is all about. I know it might sound very banal or very mundane. I'm not talking about starting early during the day, waking up early, doing your morning rituals and things like that. That's a different story for self-development and mastery. This is purely about starting early in terms of whatever you do, whatever be your enterprise, whatever you be your work, whatever you be your skills and hobbies. It is extremely important for you to identify your core area, your niche very early in life. First, the most important point which we need to bear in mind is to probably start off in the right job when you finish your college, either through campus placement or probably through the lateral higher route. A lot of times what happens is when we finish college or when we finish our formal education, there is a bit of a desperation to somewhere get into a job, irrespective of whether the job is suitable for us, the job is of interest to us, the job is something which you can do for the rest of the life. That is exactly the thing which you need to make up our mind. Are you choosing something which you're passionate about? Are you choosing something about which you are competent enough to do? And are you also choosing something which you will be amply rewarded, not just in the short term, but also medium term and long term? This is a combination which is very important to identify early in life. Yes, I'm not saying you need to get this right first immediately after college, but at least in the first few years, maybe 2-3 years of your career, you need to be very clear as to in terms of what will you will you want to do with your skills and competencies, with your core competencies, maybe in the next 5-10 years. And unless otherwise you identify that very quickly, believe me, the career will falter very early. Personal experience of people who have done this both right and wrong, very clearly, those who stick on to the core area, stick on to a chosen career path early in their career, maybe latest within 5 years of starting on their first job, are those who really make wonderful careers. So that is the power of starting early and starting right early. In fact, I should probably have told this: start right early, number one. And this, of course, comes by iteration. Not everybody not everybody gets it perfectly right. You have a premier B school or engineering college, IIT kind of stuff, people who really get excellent breaks in the campus, and probably because it is extremely rewarding and it also is probably challenging their intelligence, they choose to go in that path in the rest of their lives. But a chunk of us, maybe at least 70-80% of us, are really lost in terms of opportunities. We chase multiple opportunities and we seize the earliest opportunity that comes to us. If you ask me, for example, I personally finished my engineering and MBA, and after MBA, in a fit of desperation to probably get hired through the campus or get placed through the campus, I joined a logistics company which offered me the role of a territory manager. That was my first post MBA job. But looking back, a lot of my peers get very puzzled as to with your skills and competencies in public relations, in communication, in primarily core competence in communication, why did you choose logistics as a first job? Yeah. Subsequently, I probably took a few years to realize and course correct and move on to the area which I am competent in terms of both people management as well as communication, which was logically public relations, media relations, corporate communication, things like that. But initially, maybe in the first few years of my career, I really faltered very badly, and this is actually a mistake which most of us do. And this is what I say when you have to start right and start early in your career. And you have to be consciously aware that you probably are heading in the wrong path. I mean, what happens is we join in our first jobs and there is a comfortable amount of lifestyle, there's a comfortable amount of money coming in, and there's a kind of lethargy or a laid-back attitude that sets in and say, okay, let's go with the flow, let's see what happens. And unless otherwise situations or the circumstances compel you to think what is right for you, compel you to explore if you are doing the right thing the right way. We really don't course correct maybe even for 10-15 years, and those are the people who really get completely stuck when they are 40, 45, 50, like that. I mean, people really even earlier. I mean, I've seen people who get stuck in their early 30s because they're just doing the motions. They probably spend the initial part of their career by by being a rolling stone, gathering no moss, not really exploring their core competencies, not really trying to cultivate the classic T-shaped competencies which everybody does now, in terms of having a broad area of skills, but also going deep down on a particular set of competencies which is your core competence, and getting the perfection in terms of what we call as a 10,000 hour excellence in that particular area. How many people do that? If you look at it, maybe very, very few. So keep this in mind. It is extremely important for you to probably get it right and get it early in your career. And this applies to almost everything you do in life. Keep the first job apart. There are a number of ways in which you can pursue multiple earning opportunities today, and which is very, very important, because today the job market is changing. The employment landscape across the globe, and even India, is probably getting very, very, very dynamic and unpredictable. Even the most competent people get laid off suddenly. They are forced out of their jobs because of a pink slip, because of extraneous reasons. And in all these circumstances, if you really look back, the biggest mistake you would have done maybe in your first 15 or 20 years of a career is, number one, not getting it right early, and number two is not really pursuing alternate revenue earnings. When I say pursuing alternate revenue earnings, yes, I'm talking about things like freelancing and things like that. You may really think that if I'm in a comfortable job, if I'm really doing well on my day job, then why the hell should I do it? Yes, I'm saying if you are if you are in a fabulous job opportunity, which you probably are very sure you're someone who got it right early, then probably you're going to be very good at what you do for the rest of your life. But in a majority of the cases, we really don't get it right, and that is the reason we start seeing ups and downs in our careers. And for people with ups and downs in their careers, additional earnings are very, very important, and that itself is a very, very big art in terms of identifying what additional skills you have, and identifying which of these skills are monetizable, which are these skills are going to give you additional revenue streams maybe for 10-15 years, save you on a rainy day, help you sustain your family and lifestyle, help you live a comfortable life with your family, supporting everything of your needs and things like that. So if you look at all this, it is extremely important today to not really fully be dependent on a day job alone, but probably explore additional revenue opportunities. And this is where the question of also coming to a conclusion on I'm passionate about this comes. I mean, yes, you're passionate about something, but if you're passionate about something, number one, do people need that service? And number two, are people willing to pay for that service? This is the combination which is very, very important for you to understand and work out. And in fact, if your passion is of no use in terms of getting the next two right, being monetizable and being people be willing to pay for it, then I think we probably are fooling ourselves and seeing that we're passionate about something. Nothing wrong in having multiple passions, but unless otherwise these passions are going to convert to some amount of revenue earnings, somehow I personally feel, yes, you can be passionate, but end of the day, passion without anything much in the purse is actually of no point, is what my feeling is. And this comes out from my own experience. Just to illustrate, initial part of my career, I was a passionate writer. I published numerous books on Kindle and other digital platforms. But believe me, I hardly could earn any revenues, because maybe I was not getting it right, because there's too much of competition on that platforms and things like that. Number of factors. But I did spend a considerable amount of time on writing these books, publishing them and things like that. But one fine morning I realized that probably I went on the wrong path, because yes, I'm passionate about it, but this is something which is not needed by the market, because maybe I didn't choose the right topics and stuff like that, but it is also not monetizable. So I quickly started to shift gear and moved on to probably more other forms of writing which could earn things. I mean, writing e-books on demand, writing ghost writing articles, ghost writing blogs and things like that. Yeah, revenues are much, much smaller than that, but believe me, those are sustainable revenues, and those are the revenues which again are which you have a that ideal combination of something which you're passionate about, something which is a demand, and something which people are willing to pay for. So in your own, in your own skills and competencies, you have to identify this very, very early in life. No point in waiting till you're 40 or 50 like me. Maybe if very, very proactively work, maybe once you settle down in the first 5 or 10 years of a career, immediately start looking at what else can you do, what else can you monetize, and things like that. Unless otherwise you do this, today's happiness is completely contingent on having a firm revenue stream in the long run. Believe me, having money in your bank to meet all your needs, maybe the first for the next 5 or 10 years, is probably the most comfortable thing which will give you happiness. If there are people, of course, who will come and tell you that no, money doesn't give happiness and things like that, believe me, that is just bullshit. You need money to sustain your life. You need money for all your expenses, and unless otherwise you cultivate this habit of trying to generate additional sources of money using both your skills, competencies, and passions, it's going to be extremely tough for those, and you'll probably have to get into the loop of getting into loans and that vicious cycle, which is not very, very advisable. It is always better to live within our means, and to that end, it is very, very important that we understand this power of starting early, not just in getting the right job at the right job, first job, but also pursuing right passions which are monetizable and which will probably keep us happy in the long run. So this is the whole concept of starting early, starting right, and not just from a job front, but also in your additional skill front, passion front, and make sure that whatever you do is probably going to be useful to you and your entire family in the long run. It's a very, very powerful message, and this, believe me, this message comes to you from someone who really has seen a lot of ups and downs in life, who has seen the ups and downs in terms of the ability to monetize career. Today, successful careers are those which can be monetized at least for maybe the next 20-30 years if you're probably in your mid-20s today. So a successful career is not just that you go to work, enjoy doing it, do part-time something, enjoy doing it, but something which can give you revenues over the long run. And you need to consciously work very, very hard, work very, very smart to keep evolving yourselves as a better person in terms of from this as a bottom line. Keep revenue earnings as a bottom line, keep money saving as a bottom line, and to that end, how should your job progress, how should your career progress, how should your skills and competencies in progress, and how should your additional gigs or freelancing things like progress. So this is the whole idea of this video, an extremely powerful thought process from my point of view. I really give you this information after seeing a lot through life, not from my own point of view, but from a whole lot of peers, friends, and people who have been extremely successful and who have been not successful. And believe me, the difference between those who have been successful and not successful, it is not their intelligence, it is not their smartness, it is not their B-school ability, but people who really have the ability to monetize their multiple skills in the medium term and the long term, and keep constantly evolving from that point of view. I'm very delighted to share this important content with you. I'm sure you find this extremely useful and powerful, and do share it with people who probably would find it useful. I'm sure this will help. I'll see you soon in another podcast vis-a-vis life and careers. Consider liking and subscribing to this video, and thanks for your time. Have a wonderful time ahead in your life and career. Thank you.